Well, hey there, howdy, folks. It's Doug again, coming at you today on a Saturday, approximately 4 o'clock in the afternoon, with a somber message that normally I'm a little more, got a little anecdote or something but Russia was attacked by a terrorist attack, and dozens of people were killed, and it's all over the news like it's such a crime against humanity. Russia has just been bombing Kyiv, the capital city of Ukraine, with thousands of tons of ordnance for 2 years. So there's untold atrocities that are going on in Ukraine um, against civilians, and Russia wants to clutch his pearls and be like, "You gonna kill civilians? Oh my God, who would ever dare to do that?" Sort of thing. I don't know. Vlad, you tell me, bud. Are you out of your mind? Like, how could anyone be so naive that they don't see through that propaganda? And it's all over Western media. People at a concert were killed in Russia? Oh my gosh. What do you expect? 30,000 civilians in Gaza have been killed. Civilians. Children. More children have been killed in Gaza in the past 5 months than in all the world's wars combined over the past 4 years. So more children have died in this one war in Gaza in 5 months than all of the world's wars combined together over the past 4 years. And I don't know about you, but I consider that children are civilians. So the trend here is to use a terrorist attack. Oh, terrorist attack. Definition of terrorism: using violence for political or religious purposes. So, against civilians. So you're using violence against civilians for religious or political purposes. So yes, the attack in Russia at the concert hall that killed dozens of people, that was terrorism. But to kill 30,000 people in Gaza is terrorism. So when the Western media goes out of its way to clutch its pearl and be like, "Oh, I feel so bad for Russia. All you've been doing is trying to invade your sovereign neighbor for 2 years now." Oh, 2 years. Russia has been trying to invade its sovereign neighbor. Kill all the civilians you want over there, and don't expect anything to happen in the motherland, right? I mean, I got a bridge to sell you. But the fact that the United States can be so, like, in the pocket of Ukraine right now, like, we want to give money to Ukraine. We want to use this as a proxy war to diminish Russian stockpiles of weapons so that they can't wage a bigger war. And until Ukraine wants to keep fighting. So, I mean, and I don't blame them, because I have a piece of paper that I could show you that says Khrushchev gave Crimea, the peninsula of Crimea, to Ukraine in the 1960s. It's a huge decree about it. It's part of Ukrainian territory. But apparently, like, Putin didn't get that memo. So I'm gonna break this down. It's at 4 minutes right now. So let me get at this. There may be. I'll use the United States as an example from a person in the United States. There may be more people in Minnesota who agree with and want to be a part of Canada. Okay? It's just like people in the Donbass might want to be more in line with Russia. Okay? It's fine. But you cannot just hold a vote and then, like, switch over. Like, it's part of the Constitution that Minnesota can't just, like, we're out, bud. See ya. You know, I'm picking on Minnesota. I don't have any problems with Minnesota. I'm using them as an example because they border Canada. So you can't just have Minnesota be like, every other Thursday, be like, "You know what? I like Canada, dude, and that's how we gonna roll." No, it's built into their agreement to be a part of this country. And so it's the same with the Donbass. So yes, there might be more people in the Donbass that agree with Russia and are more ethically Russian. Then go to Russia, man. You can't just carve out part of a sovereign nation and militarily and then say, well, they're all Russian though. Yeah, but they're a part of the Ukraine. So, unless they change their constitution, it's illegal for the Donbass to go into Russia, just the same way as that Minnesota can't be like, we're part of Ontario now and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, it's not legal for them to do that. So, yes, Russia was attacked by a terrorist attack, and that's bad. So why don't we stop bombing Kyiv, and why don't we stop bombing the Donbass, and why don't we stop taking over sovereign parts of other nations? And then, oh man, Gaza. People are going to look back and be like, why didn't anybody do anything about that? I don't know, because Western media has like sided on the United States. They're geopolitical partners with Israel, so we can't give them any bad press. You can destroy whatever hospital you want, but I don't even mind. Kill babies, starve them. Starve them. I hear this from Israel supporters all the time. We have a right to defend ourselves. I got to defend myself. If you have the right to defend yourself, that's fine. But if you have the capacity to shut off the food and water and electricity, gas, and starve a whole nation, make sure nobody can leave or exit that place, come in at all, what are you even talking about? Defend yourself. No, it's a medieval siege and you're starving out a population, a civilian population. That's terrorism. You are using political things to inflict damage on a civilian population. And what's worse is in Israel and Gaza, Israel and the IDF are using collective punishment. They are specifically going after civilians on purpose to hurt them. I mean, you want to break my heart? Like, I made a video about 9/11 as an American. 9/11 happened. 2,000 people died. We went to war for 2 decades. Spent trillions of dollars. Killed God knows ungodly amounts of civilian human beings over there. And then what did we get out of that? Nothing. Al-Qaeda took over the country when we left, and which, by the way, was Donald Trump's plan. I know everybody wants to give Biden slack for it, but he was just literally following exactly what Donald Trump set out to do. So, well, I'm at 8 minutes. The Abraham Accords were made by Donald Kushner. Yeah, right. Jared Kushner. He set up a back channel to subvert the Palestinians. So he went right around the Palestinians, made this quote-unquote peace agreement, completely ignored Palestinians, and then they sat back and were like, oh, is there going to be a terrorist attack or something? I don't even know. Couldn't even tell you. I mean, I got $2 billion from my buddies, but no, I don't understand the correlation there. Like, yeah, they're in an open-air prison, and yeah, they can't make their own decisions, and yeah, they can't get food and water or leave or do anything. And I mean, it is an open air prison. It is an apartheid state, which is illegal under international law. And so when the United States vetoes the only ceasefire resolution, and then Joe Biden's under such pressure that he puts forth a ceasefire resolution, and then China and Russia veto it, I just lose all fucking composure. The United Nations is, I want to say, totally worthless. I mean, it has literally zero, political, military influence at all. It's a worthless time. Like, you do nothing but, it's like a little stage of a game that people play that has no consequences. I mean, if there's no enforcement mechanism, without the, what is it, the war powers, or what is it, Russia, China, United States, France, Great Britain. I mean, one of them is going to veto the other one. Oh, you want this, so I'm going to veto it. Now you're going to do this. Now I'm going to veto it. And nothing gets done, and people get slaughtered at all times. And I don't understand why we're even fucking talking about it. So I do get passionate about this because, man, I tell you what, I don't know how to explain it to anybody any better. Russia, you've been at war with a sovereign nation that you are invading illegally for 2 years, and then you get a terrorist explosion in your concert hall, and you're gonna fucking just like the United States. We've been fucking over countries for decades and decades. We had a 9/11. They were like, fuck you, and they hit us, and it sucks. As an American, I'd be like, well, fuck you then. But you gotta use a saner head than that, because if you're just reactionary, you're gonna follow our same example where we invaded a country for 2 countries for 2 decades, spent trillions of dollars, got absolutely nothing. I don't understand what the goal is here. I mean, we have to put down our weapons and figure things out with a saner head, because as long as people are just allowed to like kill each other and then say, "Oh my God, they retaliated," all we did was occupy them for 70 years. I don't know what their problem is, man. We just held off aid and kept them in the open air prison and used apartheid and made them in giant fences and shot people on their border when they were praying. Like, why would they be mad about that? We just indiscriminately bomb like civilians all the time and lie about it. Like, all you're doing, Israel, is breeding more Hamas. That's all you're doing. You're giving, and I don't want to say that. I don't think that's a good idea, and I don't think it's a good thing. Unless you want to like perpetually have war. Unless you're totally against war and you want to always have war, and so you're like wanting to make war, then you're doing a good job. Because anything else, I'd say you're wrong. When you're fighting an enemy, you leave them a way to escape, so that you don't destroy their entire lineage, so that their children don't grow up completely like hating you forever. It's an old adage, but it applies today. If you're trying to like strangle out this thing without like having any mercy or joy or love for your neighbors and your cousins at all, and then you want everybody else to have mercy and pity. Oh, 70 years ago there was a Holocaust, man, and now we can do whatever we want. We can have our own Holocaust because we had a Holocaust. So what does that mean? In 70 years, Palestine can have a Holocaust against somebody else, and then just keep kicking the can down the road? I mean, I know that might seem like a short-term solution to you, but gotta use your fucking bigger brain about this one, motherfuckers, because I am livid, man. Think about this shit. It's so important. Put down your fucking guns. It is not complicated. We are not conducting rocket surgery at the moment. Don't know what else to tell you. As long as you are continuing to fight, continuing to want to fight, then that's what you're going to get. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be the hippie love motherfucker about this, but Russia, do not attack your sovereign neighbor if you do not want to be attacked your motherfucking self. United States, don't go into South America, fuck up Chile, fuck up Ecuador, fuck up Equatorial Guiana, and then not expect any sojourners to come to the United States looking for a better life. Don't do it. You're going to be disappointed. It's just a matter of human nature. So I had a discussion with this lady today. She was an avid supporter of Trump. And I was like, I wouldn't vote for Trump. She laughed. And she's like, I know, he's horrible. He's terrible. He's bad. But he runs this country like a business. And I'm like, well, his businesses that he ran into the ground? Okay. I will digress. You're never going to get any solution to peace if your whole thing is to build an empire of weapons and then use them. So there is no government that's infallible. So most Americans want a ceasefire. Most Americans don't want illegal wars. And I'm bidding on your humanity to think about things in a more empathetic and, I would say, worldwide, universal way. And so, until next time, folks, shalom.